Good evening. The frequency is not in use. This is Net Control. My name is Paul, K4PW, here from Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. I'm not going to ask you about emergency traffic as I've never risen. But call 911 if you do have an emergency. You can call us anytime you want to. This is just an open net. For more information on this net, you can go to our YouTube stream, which shows the face of my analog meter of my radio output and input. So you can see how your signal compares to others. You can also hear the audio of what's going on the net here on YouTube in case you can't hear them through your system. Are going to be able to hear each other well if they don't have really good antenna. So I'm in the middle, so I always say I'm the monkey in the middle, so it's easy for me. You can also go to 146415.net for information. You can also go to groups.io and put in MJSS in the search block. By the way, the YouTube, put in the search block for YouTube, K4PEW, and you can see that screen. And also hear the audio, of course. But the groups.io, you just put in MJSS, which stands for Mount Juliet Simplex Society, in their search block, and groups.io. Or you can send me an email at k4pew@arrl.net. We meet at 8 p.m. every Saturday and Wednesday night. I got that backwards, but it's every Wednesday and Saturday night. And we meet at 8 p.m. where we do all kinds of nets, but you can see that on our net schedule on the Groups.io site. But you can also sign up for our email system if you like. But we do, tonight we're doing the 2-meter FM net here on this frequency, 146.415, and then we're going to move over. Hold on one second. We're going to move over to a slightly off frequency. I'm going to move over to, where we moved? Oh, yeah, 10 meters, 28.415, and then over to 223.415 FM. By the way, that 28.415 is upper side band. And I don't want to forget, very important, the breakfast this coming Saturday at the Golden Corral in Hermitage. It's the only Golden Corral in Hermitage. I don't think there's another Hermitage in the United States. It's the one here in Tennessee. It opens at 8. Can't get in beforehand. Most of us get there a few minutes early and just hang out like seagulls behind a fishing boat. Other announcements, we also have a net Sunday nights that Michael KM4YRF does. And that's on 28.415, but it's at 7:30 p.m. Sunday night. 7:30, be there. Sometimes, usually not at night for some. We haven't had too much of that on weeknights, but on the Sunday night, that we seem to get the DX. Maybe more people are off doing DX, but we get some. I say DX. We're getting. We've had many states check in from on the 10-meter net on Sunday nights, but not so much on Wednesday nights. I don't think they like me. Anyway, which is fine. Purpose of that is to have fun, is to figure out who you can hear, and see if you can scrounge up enough change from inside the cushion to buy a new antenna and put it up higher in the peak of your house. But you better ask your XYL first, and the homeowners association if you got one. It's a pity if you do have one. Anyway, do your best to get the antennas out of the attic, wherever you have. If there's any other announcements I'm missing, please tell me now. Yeah, most of the announcements we have are on the email system for local nets, the other Simplex nets, the one in Bowling Green and the one in up in Portland, and then some of the other nets in Wilson County, and also Cheatham County we announce on their Aries net. So there's a lot of stuff that we announce, and it's just good for AM radio. But anyway, this is net number 901. We're on the home stretch to making 1,000, I think. But what's another 99 nets? If you look on the front page of the YouTube site, if you look up K4PEW on YouTube, on the front, before you click on the link to this video, I put down that the reason I've done so many Simplex nets. I think the reason is a valid one. You'll get a kick out of it, I think. Anyway. We're taking mobile and people short on time first, so please come now. But we'll be taking from the west first. West always gets blamed for everything, but they're going to go first tonight. Besides mobile and short on time. Please come now.
Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra Paul, northbound Juliet Mobile.
Hey, very good, Paul. You coming into town or leaving town?
Just kind of got back in. Was on the West Coast for a couple of weeks, so glad to be home.
Boy, it's nice out there, isn't it?
The weather was nice, yeah, but it's expensive out there.
Yeah, we're headed in that direction.
We're very close.
Yeah, very good. I noticed a house again today. It doesn't make any difference. It's in Florida, and it's a crappy. I say crappy. It's a small 1,300 square foot house. It's in an old neighborhood. It's not nothing fancy about this house at all. The interior is very pretty, but fancy. It's just a concrete block, shingle roof, a quarter acre, $430,000.
Yeah, I believe it. They're telling me that people lived out there. Over $500,000 for a house out there right now.
Oh, that's for a shack. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's a pity. It's a really a pity. It all, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything but demand. I mean, that's really the answer. The reason for it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, well, we're lucky what we have out here.
Yeah, well, it is kind of sad because I always often wonder what a couple does, or even a single guy gets. He either stays in his my parents' basement, or he moves about an hour and a half away to buy an affordable house.
Yeah, well, exactly. You got to shack up to make it work.
Yeah, I know it. Well, maybe we'll go back to we'll get 4 or 5 or 6 people living together in order to pay the rent.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, otherwise, it's good weather out here, too. Happy to be back for the weekend. I don't know. Gonna smoke some pork butt or something. That's about all I got planned.
Oh yeah, they're hard to light though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, pork. I love pork. One of my favorite.
That's good. It's easy to do on the smoker, and it tastes good.
Yeah, don't remind me. We used to, when I was married, my last wife was a Cuban. She was born and raised in Cuba. Well, raised. She came here when she was 9. And I'd go to events of her family and some of the other Cubans in the Tampa area. But on Christmas and like Thanksgiving and Easter, there would often be the normal things, but they'd also, not always, but somebody would buy a roasted pig, splayed out on the big, on a rack, and you go, wow, that's gross, but it was good.
Oh, I bet. I've been lucky enough to have that once or twice at some festivals or something. Backstage, they'd cook that stuff up, and it'd be amazing. But that's good stuff.
But there's a little cottage industry in Tampa and Miami and probably in Orlando too for roasted pigs. Actually, people just set up and they take orders and they'll roast 100 of them and people, just like Publix. Publix doesn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know where you would get that around here.
I think you're gonna have to do it yourself.
Yeah, well, maybe next year for holiday we'll try that out.
Yeah, very good. Invite me. All right. Anything else on that there, Paul?
No, that's it. Thanks for doing that. Just want to say hi.
Very good. That was Paul. He's mobile, but he normally is in North Mount Juliet. And that's Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra. Who else is short on time or mobile?
Whiskey Victor 9 Yankee.
I'm going to remember who this is someday, but tell me who you are.
It's Jim, Juliet, India Mike, and I'm mobile.
Okay, very good. Where are you normally mobile, Jim? I mean, where are you?
I'm normally in Hermitage, kind of off of Bell Road. It's a New Hope Court, which is a road, a cul-de-sac off of New Hope. It's an older neighborhood.
Ah, very good. Older, but still expensive.
Yeah, not 400,000, but it was more expensive than I wanted to pay coming from Indiana.
Oh, I'll bet. What part of Indiana were you in?
Columbus. It's right on I-65, south of Indianapolis. It's where the headquarters of Cummins is, and I worked there for Parisia Automotive parts manufacturer.
Oh, wow. Cummins is that just their home office, or do they have manufacturing there too?
Oh yeah, they've got everything. I think they're. I don't know for sure. I spent 20 years up there, and I don't know, but I drove by them all the time. They had some factories and stuff there.
I got you. Yeah, I had spent a lot of years in Florida, and there wasn't a great deal of heavy manufacturing there. And every time I'd go into a northern city on my travels, I'd see these big plants putting out huge amounts of steel. Something I used to be like, oh, this is like work.
Yeah, they have a foundry. There was a foundry there that's kind of just a big open field now, but they did a lot of that. But the company I worked for was there. They were making exhaust systems, and we had an old airport that we used to design the exhaust systems for different manufacturers.
Oh wow! As a kid, well, when the area I grew up in, which was in Niagara Falls, the Niagara Falls Buffalo area, when you traveled, you were often going by large industrial things. And one that was always fun at night, they'd actually have kettles of, I think they called it slag. I'm trying to remember the term, slag, which is molten steel in big pots on railroad cars. And they'd be taking it, they'd be actually stopping traffic, the railroad cars that go across the street. And then they dump the slag in, I don't know, some kind of, out on the ground, within a few hundred feet of it. There was like a big fireworks. It was quite, I still get a kick out of it.
Wow, yeah, there was a cornfield next to where I lived, and would take my dog walking out there when it would cut down, and then we'd find pieces of that must have came out of a foundry just in the dirt all over the place. I thought it was meteorites.
Yeah, very good. You just don't want to pick it up when it's still hot, though.
These have been there for some time.
Yeah, I guess. Well, very good, Jim. Good motoring. Anything else for the net?
Nope, that's all I got. But you say breakfast is this Saturday?
That's correct. 8 a.m. at Hermitage Golden Corral.
I plan to be there.
Very good. We'll see you then, Jim. That's Whiskey Victor 9 Yankee Mobile, but he's normally in Hermitage. Who else is mobile or short on time? All right, taking check-ins from the West, the lovely West.
KM4YRS.
Hey there, Michael. Everything okay?
Yeah, I think so. I think everything's okay. Had a little glitch today with Lisa. She's just real confused today, but other than that, I think everything is okay.
Yeah, that kind of stuff's to be expected. Went through that with a couple of people in my life.
I know you have, Paul. All you can do is hang in there, and that's great.
Yeah, there's not much else. Everything else going well?
Yeah, we've been busy at work. Busier we've been in a long time.
A lot of HVAC stuff?
Oh, my word. And that and appliances.
For even appliances, too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You selling them illegal gas appliances the EPA is going to outlaw?
No, we only we can get gas appliances, but we don't stock them. We just that would be a special order thing from us.
Why is there another big competitor that does mostly gas?
No, it's just most of the appliances we sell are to apartment complexes, and there's not very many that have like gas cooking stoves and that kind of thing. Now we sell gas furnaces for heating, but not for cooking.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, because I was going to say there is a lot of natural gas around Middle Tennessee. I mean, it's piped into homes.
Oh yeah, and we can get anything you want, but we just we don't have enough room, first of all, to stock everything.
Oh, I'm with you. Boy, that's fun. It's fun working in that kind of business because you kind of get a handle on how well the economy's doing.
Well, we were so busy today that, of course, first thing in the morning, we're pulling orders and getting them ready to ship, and then as soon as the trucks are gone, we start pulling for the next day. And our floor was so full this afternoon that we have to load the truck tomorrow before we can pull anything else.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. It's good to be busy. It's good to have. Well, I don't know. You're getting too old to be busy, but it's good to be busy, and it's a nice thing to look forward to. Is a busy working outfit.
No, absolutely, I agree. Well, I've taken up enough time. Appreciate everything you do, Paul, and 73 everyone, and back to net control.
Very good. That was Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's over there just on southeast Nashville, pointing toward the airport. Who else is west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Hello, Greg. Anything good going on?
Yeah, this is in the right side of the microphone. I don't know if it sounds any different. No, not a lot going on. Just a beautiful day here.
If I had, you make me laugh because I've done that, but I can't do it with this mic that's on a boom because I'd have to move my chair around to the other side of the mic to talk on the wrong side.
You never know.
I could throw my voice and make it go around from the back.
There you go.
Anyway, anything good going on?
No, not really. But I'm here for the Nets. I'll be up here for the rest of them. 84 TV.
Very good. That's Greg. He's in Antioch. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west?
Forest is Lima Vic.
Jay, do you remember conferences for about 40 years? I don't remember her name. Joey sat in the front row.
Drew Smith.
Was it Drew? Drew, was it a woman or a man?
Drew Smith is the one I'm thinking of. An older lady that wore a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Drew.
I didn't remember her name. That's funny. Anyway, you're the Drew Smith of ham radio, you know?
Well, I don't wear quite as much makeup, but I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, no, it wasn't meant to be you were a woman. That would be, well, that would be awful. Because, man, she might be better looking than you.
Well, she's long gone. She was a staple in government at the council meetings.
Yeah, I know, those are pretty neat. Anyway, everything going okay?
Oh, yeah, doing great.
Yeah, very good. No, it's good to be, the regularity of some of the people, and not that people are irregular, at least irregular check-ins. I don't know what their irregularity otherwise, but there's something to be said for showing up all the time.
Well, you got the usual suspects.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. That's our framework. Without you guys, I'd be talking to thin air.
Well, hey, I'm looking forward to Saturday morning seeing everybody for breakfast.
Oh yeah, very good, Jack. That was Jack. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victory. Probably won't sleep between now and Saturday morning, so look forward to a sleepy Jack on Saturday morning. All right, and he just brings coffee. He doesn't bring it. He eats coffee, drinks coffee. Who else is West?
W5BFR.
W5BFR. Boy, did you get that as a vanity call by any chance?
Whiskey 5 Delta Foxtrot Romeo Rick and Hermitage.
Oh, that's right. I thought I heard Bravo. I'm sorry, my mistake. Because I do know who this is, and I had it messed up. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, and I may not have spoken clearly, so not your fault at all. But things are good. We're halfway through the week and looking forward to a 3-day weekend.
Oh yeah, most people are getting a 3-day weekend. You're right. I forgot about that. Of course, all of my weekends are every day, being retired.
No, I hear you. I'm kind of semi-retired, but this will be nice to have the 3 days and make things.
He was talking about how time flies, and I said, because I mentioned to him way after he retired, I said, boy, time flies. 17 years you've been retired. He goes, yeah. You don't want to rush the days along, you know.
Nope, there's truth in that. Your perspective changes when you get over 50, the 50 or something.
Well, yeah, I used to think people were 74, which I'm going to be 74 in a month or so. I used to think those people were ancient.
All right, but as you know, it's always you're only as young as you feel and as you act. So all good here. But carry on. Have a great night. W5BFR.
Yeah, if that's true, I'm just a very twisted mind 8-year-old. That's what I am. Anyway, that's Rick. He's in Hermitage. Whiskey 5 Delta Foxtrot Romeo. Good signal, by the way. Who else is west? Nobody else west? How about south? All right, I heard 2 in there. Did I hear Larry in there? Hold on 1 second there, Michael. Did I hear Kilo Echo 4 S Sierra Yankee Victor Larry?
Yes, mate. All. I'm going to be out of pocket Saturday night. With the D-Star, so somebody can take care of everybody. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll do it. And you have a good night then, Saturday night. Anything else than that?
No, man. Thank you.
Very good. That was Larry. He normally does the. He's getting the business Saturday night, so he won't be doing the D-Star net. So somebody's going to have to put up with one of the rest of us here on the digital stuff on Saturday nights at 7:15. By the way, 7 p.m. is the what do you call it? The DMR net on 146.460, and then on again with 146.460 on D-Star, and then again with 146.460. It's hard to forget those on D-Star. Excuse me. On C4 FM Fusion. So anyway, good to have Larry in there. That was KE4SYB. He's in Rockville. Heard Michael. How's Michael doing?
Doing pretty good. It's just been a while since I've been the Wednesday net. Just so much things going on, or by the time I remember, darn, the net's already over with.
Remember what?
The net was on.
Oh, yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. No, it's easy to forget.
But definitely, I just hope everybody has a good Memorial Day. Just remember all those guys that didn't get to come home.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of them. We lost somewhere around 58,000 in Vietnam, and we lost another several thousand in Iraq and Afghanistan, and we lost somewhere between 350 and 400,000 in World War II, and another 50-something thousand in Korea.
Yeah, and not forget the guys that didn't come home and, through whatever ailments or things were just bothering them mental wise, end up, calling it quits and doing themselves in. It's just all those guys deserve to be remembered.
Yep, and we often tend to forget that we still have, I'll just say, connections in a certain sense. My mother remembers seeing the Civil War veterans on Memorial Day, on Veterans Day, not Memorial Day, but on Veterans Day, and the Civil War guys, and it would have been in the early 30s, marching down the street in a parade, and so here she tells me about that. So there's still a slight connection, even to all those losses, of which we're close to, I think, close to 700,000 in the Civil War. If you add up both the North and the South, the losses, it's amazing.
Oh, it truly is. I mean, it's just, but who knows what the future brings. But definitely nothing to add to the net other than, I guess, American Legion's got their flag event going on this weekend. And then I'm sure there's some other events going on around town.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Well, very good, Michael. Nothing else for the net?
Nothing else. Just hope everybody has a good night.
Very good. That's Michael wishing everyone well. Kilo 3, Mike, Papa Romeo. He's here in Mount Juliet, over behind Providence a ways. East of Providence, that would be. Who else is south? All right. You got a systems report for Smyrna?
No hope.
No, there's always hope. I always hope the roads are clean.
No, actually, came through there today, and they've soiled the roads yet again.
And, but you know what? They got stamina. They got real discipline and stamina in trashing up the roads down there.
Well, there's more of them than there is of me.
Yeah, I know, but how come they're all on your road?
Oh, they're not. Trust me. I just, hey, it's a mile up and a mile back, and I can't do the whole city. I'm good with just my little 1 mile stretch.
Well, what's funny is, for those that walk and or bike, it doesn't hurt to pick up trash, even just a little bit every day. If you see it on the roadway or on the sidewalk or whatever, it does make a difference.
Well, I hope so. Anyway, no, that's about all I got going on. I'm got clear margins, as you well know, so yay, good. I could eat a skunk raw today.
Let's not think about that, Hope it's a debagged skunk.
Well, use a lot of gravy, you'll be okay.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, a lot of gravy, yeah. Yeah, very good. Well, for those of you who could hear Tony, he had some thing, apparently a cancerous growth, and he got it removed, and they redid it. They did just like they did it with mine. They do what they call, they take a larger portion around it and then take it to the lab and verify that it hasn't spread to other places. That means if it comes clear, they go clean margins. In other words, they couldn't find any other evidence of that cancer in surrounding tissues. Anyway, that's exhausting my knowledge of medical technology. But that was Tony in Smyrna, Kilo Foxtrot 4, Kilo Foxtrot Quebec. Who else is south? Hey, David, what's up?
Hello, Mr. Paul. Good evening.
Oh yeah, no, it's hard to believe because I don't think about, I don't dread doing the nets. Sometimes there's a little bit of work or they interrupt something I want to goof off and I don't. But at the same time, it's amazing that there's 900 nets. It's just it's astounding, really. Yeah, very good. That was David in Reedyville. Yeah, for those of you that didn't see it on the face on the what do you call it, the thumbnail that's on YouTube, I put no, it's not either. Where did I put that? Yeah, it's on the description of the net. If you're looking at the net, and it's I put on there that I was announcing the reason I was doing so many nets, because we already finished 900, and that was because in the first 4 years of my ham amateur license, after being licensed, I was probably spent, I don't know, 70 or 80% on repeaters, and so now I'm just doing penance, doing all these nets, just to save my soul from the repeater hell. Anyway, it's good to have you in there, David. It's Kilo India 4 November, Delta November in Reedyville. Signal wasn't too great today. It must be bad conditions, because I also heard Larry crappy too down there in Rockville. I could hear David and I could hear Larry, but it was really noisy. Who else is south? Anybody else south or east?
KI4SIP, KI4SOR, good evening, Paul.
Hey, Richard. Anything good going on?
Everything is under control. Came home from work for the last day on my Friday and had a good supper. Just sitting there kind of chilling out, taking it all in. I would like to remind folks that as they celebrate this weekend that all gave some and some gave all. And let's not forget that and let's take it for granted. If it wasn't for the folks that came before us, we wouldn't be here today.
Well, I'm always reminded that, for instance, and the pictures you always see, for instance, like on the D-Day, Normandy, that kind of thing, the guys that were first off the ships and the boats, the Marines and the Army guys, they were the ones, every one of those that was killed, and there was a bunch of them. There was thousands killed at Normandy and that whole invasion. But every one of the killed, they were actually taking the bullet for somebody behind them, even though we still won the beaches and we stayed the course. It's just that every one of those guys sacrificed their life for somebody else. They didn't do it on purpose, but that's just the way it works out.
Yeah, and they gave the ultimate sacrifice, but there are still people that never saw combat that in some way sacrificed part of themselves for the nation. And I think they just as much to be recognized as anybody. As long as they wore the uniform, I don't care what they did, they helped in some way. Because it all takes the whole thing just to make it all work.
Oh, absolutely. I've had that discussion with people, veterans even. I say, what did you do in the military? They'll tell me they've been in the military. Well, I was just they'll use the just, you hear it oftentimes. I was just and like I'll make one up. You say, well, just a cook at Fort Dix, New Jersey. And you go, yeah, but you did what you were asked to do, and hopefully you did it well. And nobody died. You did your job well, and that's what they asked you to do. They didn't ask you to fly to Alaska and fight the Eskimos.
Well, in my world, I kind of equated it to being a pump panel operator on a fire engine on a fire scene. You didn't actually fight fire, but if it hadn't been for you, the guys that did couldn't.
Oh no, absolutely. Once you understand even the statistics of warfare, even in World War II and in Vietnam and in Korea, only about 10% of the troops that are gone, that are overseas, actually see combat. The rest are in support positions. And without those support positions, nobody lived through combat.
That's right. That's exactly right. It takes a whole bunch of folks to get that one man on the field where he can fight combat. Anyway, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for what you do. God bless you and take care of yourself, and I'll holler at you when I can. KI4SIB 73.
Yeah, very good. That was Richard and Stephanie, his bride, KI4SIB and KI4SOR, just west of Lebanon. Who else is east?
Okay, I'm Boris Jr.
Oh, you got a nice solid signal tonight there, Stan.
Thank you, Paul.
Anything good going on over your sector?
Pretty much same old.
Yeah, very good. It's kind of good that it's the same old, because I don't like excitement.
No, and I'm pretty sure it's talking about my family has never called Memorial Day. We always called it Decoration Day.
They always called which now Decoration Day? Veterans Day or Memorial Day? Did you say Memorial Day?
Memorial Day. We always call it Decoration Day.
Yeah, no, regardless of the reason, people have a hard time remembering. In fact, you ask a lot of young people, they don't know what Memorial Day is. They don't have a good answer because I don't know. Maybe just because we're not paying attention to that anymore.
No, I guess not. But thanks for all the folks that have served the country.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I thought mine was difficult at times, but there was guys that had it much more difficult than I did in lots of different places. You know, I mean, well, let's leave it at that. There's lots of guys that had it worse than me.
Yeah, one hotel called back to Import Street.
Very good. That's Stan in Lebanon, north of downtown Lebanon. Who else is east? Anybody east, please come out.
Papa, Lima Alpha, Philippine Texas Crossroads.
Ah, very good. I just messed up your call there. Let's see, Whiskey 9, Papa Lima Alpha, right?
-1.
Oh, it's 8. Very good. They downgraded you.
There you go.
That's how I felt about if I had to take the extra test again, it'd probably strip me back down to tech.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Me as well.
How's it going over there?
Oh, going pretty good. Went to the Dayton Ham Fest last weekend and had a short week this week. Getting ready to go out to the Smoky Mountains early in the morning. My wife and I's 10-year wedding anniversary, so going to do that and may do a photo activation while I'm up there in the mountains.
Yeah, you can have your XYL do the logging.
Hey, that would be fantastic.
Hey, how did you enjoy the thing up in Xenia, Ohio?
That was amazing. If anybody that's listening that hasn't gone and you have the opportunity, I highly recommend it. That's definitely the one to go to. I mean, if they don't have it, you probably don't need it. And lots of good food, lots of good vendors, just good time all around.
Well, I would think that the best part about that, aside from a huge opportunity for, for secondhand stuff, but I'm guessing I've never been to that one, but when the vendors are there, that's when the big shows are.
Oh yeah. We didn't walk around the boneyard a whole lot. It was a big one. I think we kind of walked around the front edge of it, but we basically stayed there in the where the buildings and stuff were. Had we not, we would have needed a lot more sunscreen and probably a whole lot better legs.
Cool. It must have covered a lot of territory then.
Yeah, it's their entire fairgrounds up there for the most part.
Oh wow! No rides?
Well, they did have a Department of Ohio safety lift thing that was sitting there that was an enclosed cab that had security cameras and radios and all that on it that kind of went up about, 30 feet or so. And there was a lady sitting in it watching over the crowd.
Oh, wow. Just make sure no fights broke out.
Well, sure. Yeah. But I caught her whenever she was getting ready to go back up in it, and she was gracious enough to let me make pictures. I thought that was pretty neat. But that was the closest thing to a ride that I saw.
I don't know, man. The average age of hams right now is around 60 something. Fights wouldn't last too long.
No, they sure would not.
It's like I heard a comedian say, that real heavy set guy, the one from King of Queens. He says, "I can only fight for a minute, then I got to sit down."
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, very good, Philip. You got anything else?
No, you're doing a good job. Step 3, everybody. WAPLA, back to next control.
Yeah, very good. That was Philip. He's in Tucker's Crossroads. Whiskey 8, Papa Lima Alpha. Who else is east? East or north?
Kilo Echo 4, Romeo Victor, come back.
Hey, Brent. You found your way back, I see.
Yeah, I made it back from Ireland, and then I've been up in Jackson County a lot. Been working, came back to a full-time job for my part-time job, so I've been working a lot. But I had a great day today. Went up to Crossville, hung out there for a little bit, got back here and did some things here. And I got laughing when you were talking about slag. I know all about it. I was from Pittsburgh.
Oh, man, you guys had that at every crossroads, I think.
Now, I was called a mafia burial. They never would find you after that one.
Oh, no, you'd be disintegrated falling into a bucket of slag.
Yeah, there was a place over in, it's called Coriopolis, and we used to sit there at night and watch the
slag come out of the steel mills there. They'd open up a door and this stuff would come out and it would go right down to the river.
Oh wow, yeah, that's what I say. When I moved to Florida initially, and I was gone from my hometown, that Buffalo Niagara area, and then when I went back there about several years later, 10 years later, and when I started moving up into Ohio, going north from Florida, that's when I started to see the big industries again. I felt like, oh man, this is like home, regular heavy industries,
Well, the big joke with us, we always said, I wonder if Jimmy's in there.
I have a feeling he was somebody. I was reminded of it. I think Jimmy Hoffa was taken to one of those crematoriums.
Oh, I have no doubt about it. That old guy that came forward, they made the movie The Irishman about it. He actually knew enough about the whole situation that I'm probably 75 to 80% sure he knows all about it.
But again, with an organization that like that, I'll just put it that way, they wouldn't have any trouble getting rid of a body. Okay, but like I grew up in Niagara Falls. It'll be easy to get rid of a body. Just toss it in the river and it goes down to the base of the American Falls, and you never see it again ever.
Oh, believe it or not, I was a kid when they took that Colorado raft down there and that thing disintegrated in the river below it. And we were there the very next weekend and there were bodies popping up in the whirlpool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but in this case, bodies that go over the American Falls end up in the rocks and they just get beat to death and eventually just go away. They can't retrieve them. They wouldn't even know they're there.
No, believe it or not, that's so much energy there. I'm sure they're just chump when they hit.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, no, that whole industrial thing with that slag. I used to, when I was a kid, that was exciting to me, really exciting to see because it was a real fireworks.
Oh yeah, at night it was amazing because it looked like a volcano coming out of the side of it, and then you'd see it hit the river below, and it would just steam.
Wow, they actually dumped it in the river, huh?
Yeah, there was a hillside, and remember that was back in the 70s, and the EPA just hadn't really kicked in all that much.
Boy, it sure did heat up the water, though.
Oh yeah, like I said, it looked like something from a flight.
Yeah, I don't know. It appeared. I don't think they were dumping it in. I think they were just dumping it off the side of they had a place in the railroad next to the railroad line to do that. So I wouldn't know, but I just know that we had in fact, we had one of the bigger steel plants in the country there. Bethlehem Steel had a plant in Lackawanna, just south of Buffalo, and it was huge.
Yeah, it was Bethlehem Steel and U.S. Steel that was doing this up there with Coreapolis too. But what was crazy is you think that would be steel, but the stuff like brittle rock.
Right. By the way, that Bethlehem Steel plant, I could be mistaken, but I had somewhere around 20,000 employees. It's not there anymore.
Oh yeah, it was the same in Coreapolis. I mean, that's basically what employed Pittsburgh during the 70s up until about 76 or 77.
Yeah, that's when we started getting steel from Brazil and Japan, I think.
Yeah, it was just about that time, and that's when also we were having the truckers' problems there with the Teamsters, and that's when everybody was scared to go out and start their cars.
That's right. I was talking to somebody about that recently, and I said, if you live in one of those northern industrial cities, you only feared two groups, and that was the organized crime and the unions.
Oh, absolutely. They were brutal. I mean, when they'd have a strike and stuff, you didn't dare drive a truck because there'd just be people pull up beside you and shoot all your tires out.
Oh boy, yeah, that's not so much true anymore. That was just as an interesting statistic that I read recently that here in the United States, we have the lowest union participation in history, as a percentage of the working population.
I don't doubt that. Like I said, when I went to work for Sharon Cloud, actually it was Dr. Scholes. That was the reason Dr. Scholes moved out of Chicago and moved down to the south.
Yeah, no, I get all that, but I still see a good union is worth its weight in gold because of that old three-legged stool idea that there's union management and ownership. And if each of those are doing their job properly, things can work fantastic.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I've never belonged to a union, but I've definitely worked in union towns before, and it's crazy.
Well, quickly said, I worked for a healthcare company, a hospital company, and they had 96 hospitals. None of them had unions in, but they were one of the best companies in the world to work for because they were under the premise that if you treat people right, you don't have to worry about a union.
Well, that's the way it was with Dr. Scholl. It was the best place you could ever work, and then Abe Plow bought it out from Memphis, and it just turned into a shop again.
Yeah, well, again, I wish more companies understood that if they make a great place to work, they will go to bat for you and work their butts off for an employer that they love working for.
Well, that's the truth. Listen, Paul, it was great talking to you. It's the first time I've had a chance to come back from Ireland, so I will try to get you next week.
You're gonna have to come to the breakfast and tell us what you did in Ireland.
Unfortunately, I'm working that day.
Oh boy, well, you're gonna have to tell me another time. It sounds like fun.
It was fantastic.
Very good. That was Brent. He's in Northwest Wilson. Kilo Echo 4 Romeo Victor Quebec. Who else is north?
KB9 Articulate.
Man, you're another lost soul. Where you been, Frank?
I've been busy, but I'm back.
Very good. I was going to ask you if you showed up. What you guys do to screw up the EPA? I mean, whoever it is up in whoever was doing it with changing the rules on dishwashers for homes. Are they nuts?
Yeah, well, they changed a bunch of stuff, and even the electrical code changed for dishwashers.
What did they just change for the sake of change?
I don't know. We gotta make fines somehow.
I think they do it just to say they did something.
Well, they made a lot of changes, most to energy consumption and stuff like that. You know, trying to go everything. You know, well, they're already electric, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, like at mine, obviously my dishwasher I have in the house, I installed a new one here a few years ago, but even that is fed from a gas water heater, so I'm doubly, using energy for it.
Shame on you. No, I have gas water heater too. Yeah, I was gonna say, well, I was just a truck driver.
Just a truck driver. Well, again, you see, that's the whole point. There's no justs. You're just a guy who swept the floor in the Pentagon. It's not a just. You were doing what you're asked to do.
Well, those guys are at least a major, so I would never be doing that.
No, you know what I'm getting at. People don't minimize. I met a guy. I thought it was odd. This guy, he was from my part of the country, but I didn't know him until I was about 30 years old. And he says he had spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. And I said, oh, cool. And I said, what'd you do? He says, I went to Memphis Naval Air Station. He was an aviation mechanic. And I said, where else did you go? He goes, nowhere. I spent 4 years in Memphis at the Naval Air Station. I said, what kind of a Marine Corps duty is that?
Yeah, no, I know. But it's like I remember talking to like the captain and stuff, and he's like, yeah, I'd never want to go to the Pentagon. He goes, majors just get coffee for people.
Oh yeah, well, we had at one point when we were on a deployment, we had this higher rank. He was called a Commodore. That wasn't his rank. I don't remember his rank. It was in other words, he was in charge of the 4 ships that he was the lead man among the 4 ships. And he happened to have his office on our ship, and he had a couple of other officers underneath him, and also a few enlisted men helped. And he also had his own mess man on there to serve him food. And I got a kick out of it because they look like a bunch of I don't even know what to call them. They look like a bunch of butt kissers is what they look like.
Yeah, I used to think they would bring the whole entourage. I remember when the commandant came to our base, he had a whole crew with him. and even any of the high-ranking people had like all these people that carry their stuff and everything. So it's like kind of funny, but yeah, no, that was interesting. But no, you're right. It takes everybody. But Memorial Day is for the ones that actually did the ultimate sacrifice there. So very important day. The other thing you guys were talking about that slag, and I was looking it up, and it's kind of interesting. Brown's Dump, it was called.
Oh, is that what the technical name for it was?
No, that's the name of the place, and it was the largest man-made mountain. They stopped dumping in right around 1970, 1969, and it was at 200 and something feet tall.
So how did they get it up on top of there? Did they pipe it up there? What did they do?
No, they drove it up there and then dumped it off the side. They said the cars would be lined up for miles to watch it because it looked like a volcano with lava coming out of it. And then they built a mall there. And interestingly enough, they found out that in 1979 they built a big mall in the part that they excavated of it. And now it's real lucrative. They're taking the mountain and digging it out and shipping it out because they found out the slag, when you mix it in concrete, makes it super strong.
That's funny. Well, that's good. That's good. What do you call it? Environmentalism.
Yeah, well, you think metal, but it's all the rock. So basically, it's man-made. It's basically like lava. Just predominantly, what does it say here? It's mostly. It started in 1913, 410 acres, and they built this mountain up there, and it's mostly silicon, phosphorus, manganese, and limestone.
Huh. That's interesting. I don't know if you ever saw it in Florida there, south of Tampa along the bay. There's a gypsum, they call them gypsum mound, gypsum, I can't get the right term, stacks, that's what they call them, gypsum stacks. And they're almost, I think they're about 200 foot tall. And they're huge because they're, I would say, oh my gosh, they got to be the size of, I forget, I measured them off one time. They're like 10 football field size, that big. And they usually have pond water on top for some reason. And they're huge. I mean, you go down the US 41 going south from Tampa, and you go right by them, and you go, that's all just gypsum. It's the, I guess I don't know if they call it tailings, but it's part of the, the gypsum the industry because they've mined stuff out of the phosphate mines in Central Florida, and that's what's left over is the gypsum.
Well, I wonder if they use it for making like wallboard and stuff. I found that, you go in caves, you find that, and it's, it's like, as a kid, you're like, well, look, it's like natural chalk.
Oh yeah. We used to find that. We used to find it in the stone in the beds of the railroad tracks that went through town. Those chalk pieces.
Yeah, and no, I remember my dad going, "That's gypsum," like it's soft. It's a soft rock.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Anyway, no, it's all. You do get kind of an education hanging around that kind of stuff, though, and especially if your dad's involved in any technical stuff. But no, those huge piles. In fact, that was one of the problems they had with some of those big stacks. They had like one of them, part of it caved in, and a whole bunch of that stuff went into a local either a river or a creek, and it made a mess of the creek. It's just it made the fish die. I'm laughing, but it was just, and then they had to pay for that.
Yeah, it's crazy, and sometimes sometimes it's like the group or not necessarily the government, but somebody thought, oh, this is a good idea, and then you find out, oh, that wasn't a good idea.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's that's what Love Canal was. They were going to build a canal, and then they stopped building it because they couldn't. They ran out of money. So they say, hey, we'll backfill it with chemicals.
Yeah, we call that the Des Plaines River up in Illinois.
Yeah, I'm sure that stopped too. Anyway, anything else for the net, Frank?
No, just thanks for doing that. I'm glad I was able to catch it finally here. But I should be okay now till sometime in August when they're shipping me out to Germany for 2 weeks. But hopefully, I don't know. I'll try to make the breakfast. We'll see.
I hear nothing. That's cool though. I've never been there, but I always wanted to go. It seems like a nice place. Who else is that's by the way, that's Frank. He's in Northwest Mount Juliet, Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kilo. Who else is west or north? I mean,
I thought it was in the north.
Yeah, we're in the north. Go ahead.
GC4 GMI, DJ4 HCB.
Hey, how you doing? You haven't checked in a while, Ray. How you doing? Oh yeah, well your signal's okay. We've had some pretty bad conditions recently. They're not as good as they always were. I've had people who are farther away from me sound a little worse than normal. Yeah, no, you're doing great. I talked to you earlier, but things still going okay? Oh, I know. Nothing good for the net. Oh yeah, it's been beautiful. Really, really nice. I was looking before the net. I looked out the back door and I got baby rabbits and eating in the backyard, and then the other rabbits, I think they're juveniles, but they're chasing each other and like they're having a fight and chasing each other and jumping on each other. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, on that note, Buster, I can't remember his last name. Anyway, Buster was his first name, and he died night before last. Anyway, he was ham operator. I can't even remember his call sign.
Oh, wow, that's too bad. Was he very old?
Yeah, he had some miles on him. I think cancer got him.
Oh, yeah. Well, it gets a bunch of us, doesn't it?
Kathy, Buster, Kathy was his name.
Kathy.
I think so.
Yeah, I haven't heard that name too often, but I have heard it. Yeah, I'll have to look him up. The guy, I thought he's raised standing by a fellow by the name of Buster Cathy. He passed away. He was a ham. What was your neck of the woods up there?
He down at Harrisonburg. Down there, over in the big part of Harrisonburg.
Ah, very good. I'll look him up. All right. Anything else for the net?
No, haven't got him. Never talked to him again.
Yeah, very good. That is Ray, and I believe it's Zoe, KJ4HNV, and Ray KG4GMR. And they're in Cottontown. Who else is north or anywhere?
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fleet Buster's call sign was Whiskey 4 Bravo Charlie Charlie.
Oh, cool. BCC. That's great. Would you look him up?
I've actually talked to him quite a few times, and I'm sad to hear that he's calling. He was a fun guy to talk to. He usually was on 147, 585 a lot of times in the evening. But good guy. W8PLA, back to net control.
Ah, very good. Yeah, Philip had talked to him a number of times. He said it's a great guy to talk to in Hendersonville. That's cool. Yeah, it's always sad to lose somebody in ham radio because all of us are like I said, the median age is in the 60s now. So it's we need more young people to keep up the pace here. Who else is north or anywhere? All right, there was a double in there, but I think Carlin won. That was Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey. How's it going, Carlin?
Doing okay, I guess. Been out doing a little yard work, so I can do the major part of it tomorrow. But I do the trim tonight, this evening, and that way I can get out there and I can just put it forward and just keep going.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I got to wait. I've got a whole bunch of shrubs that this past winter pretty much killed them, and I've chopped down some of them, and I'm waiting for the Mount Juliet as a service where they come by and for free, they pick them up, but I got to wait for them to give me notice when they're coming so I can cut them down and drag them out to the street. Because I will fill up. Well, I think I'd fill up with several pickup trucks with all the dead stuff I got.
Yeah. And yard work can kill you if you ain't careful. I was doing all mine with a push mower out there and got it all done. So I don't know. And yeah, by the way, they mentioned Buster. I used to talk to Buster quite a bit, and I was kind of let down when I heard he didn't make it. He was suffering from prostate cancer, is what apparently was going on with him. And I was just really
Put it out.
sad to hear that he didn't make it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, in fact, that's a good way. You said a prostate cancer. That's exactly what I have, I should say. It's they took it out and they said there's no remains of it. We just test it every 6 months or so. But it's a good idea for hams that are just to get checked. The PSA is what it's called. PSA test. It's a blood test, and it's easy. It's not a problem, but they can detect if you have any problems, and they can detect it early.
Yeah, I just had one of them tests here maybe last week, week before last. I just got the results in the mail today saying everything was okay. So I don't know. Everything's working out so far on that. I believe, if I'm correct, he was 93 years old. He was in his 90s.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, he obviously had a nice long life. If I make it to 93, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I kind of hope I do. My daddy made it to 95, so of course what got him, he didn't survive some surgery, so he didn't make it out of that. Well, he made it through the surgery, and when they went to take him out of surgery to bring him to recovery, they put a valve in his heart, and his blood pressure dropped out to nothing, and they couldn't get him back. You know, they done come out and said, "Hey, he's doing excellent. He's going to recovery and all that." And then the next thing we know, they took us in the room and said, "We lost him." I mean, it was just that quick.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. It's amazing how fragile life really is, and they can't always predict it. It's sad, really. But he lived to a ripe old age.
Yeah, it sure did. Well, anyway, hello to everybody on the net. Just thought I'd say howdy doody and check in. And with that said, I guess I'll ease out of here. That way some more people can get in here and check in, and turn it back over to you, KD4VW.
Yeah, very good. That was Carlin. He's in Bethpage, Kilo Delta 4 Victory Uniform Whiskey. Anybody else north or anywhere?
Lake South, KN4 MPV.
Have you checked in before?
It's been about 100 years, but congratulations on the 900 the other night. I sent a little clip in on the YouTube, but I don't know if he saw it or not. But congratulations there, Paul. Hello to everybody on the net.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to do any nets if people didn't check in once in a while.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I've got on a shift now. I took off tonight, so I'm trying to get some yard work done. I just came in here just a little bit ago, and thought I'd give you a check in there. And just not able to. I'm usually up around Illinois or somewhere by the time you do your nets.
Oh, your route runs north now?
Kansas City. Run up to Kansas City or Marion, and then turn left, 64 to 70.
Oh, wow. And that's a one. How long does that take you? I guess is the question.
Well, 9.5, 10 hours or so. It's 556 miles. It's 6 miles further than that Atlanta turn. Atlanta turn I was doing was 275 each way, and this one you just you go to bed motel out there and then you come back.
Oh, you do stay overnight.
Oh yeah, you can't turn over 1,000 miles. It's 556 miles each way.
Oh, I got you. It's kind of the rules of the federal administration.
Oh yeah. Plus, it takes you about 20 hours to do that, so I don't know if you feel that.
Yeah, very good. Well, you like your new route though? I mean, did you pick that one?
Yeah, I got tired of all that traffic between Murfreesboro, Atlanta, and all that. Just wrecks, traffic, just totally ungodly.
I can understand that because that's a busy part of the highway system. Right?
Yeah, one of the busiest worst areas has me around here. So that's what it did. I've been doing that about a year or so now, or whatever. That's the reason I haven't been checking in. But I thought you might have knew. I think I told you once before, but I know everybody forgets, and I do too. I forget what I was going to do a while ago.
Oh yeah, no, I don't remember you telling me about changing routes. So I knew you had to be doing something different to be away from the net for a while because you've been pretty regular.
Oh yeah. I'm not usually here. Usually I'm out on the road this time. I leave out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's what's been happening. But I've been keeping up with you a little bit on the YouTube there, watching you sometime. So, congratulations on the 900. What are we on the 901 or 902 tonight?
No, it's 901. I still get amazed at it. I mean, I look back and I go, man, that's a lot of nets.
Oh yeah, it's a bunch, man. You've done good, man. I just want to salute you for military service and every other veteran out there, and appreciate what you did for us, whether it was wartime or not, and definitely all the ones that made the major sacrifice. We think about those. So anyway, I won't keep you. But good to talk to you again, and maybe we'll catch you again before I go back to work. I took off till Monday. If they even get me out Monday with that holiday and all, so we'll see what happens. But congratulations on your net there, man. Great job, and haven't tried to be astray for any other reason than just working and being busy.
Oh, I understand. No big deal. Appreciate it, Terry. That was Terry who had some nice words to say about the net, and that was Kilo November for Mike Papa Victor, and he is normally, when he's home, he's in Murfreesboro. Who else is any place anywhere? Oh boy, low signal. I heard a little bit of that. All I heard was the whiskey though. Who is this? All right, I got whiskey 9. What was the rest of that?
Zulu is Mark. He said.
Mark, is it whiskey 9 Zulu? Is that correct?
Yeah, Roger.
Oh, very good. You came in a little better that time. Where are you located, Mark? Did I hear you say Murfreesboro? Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, your signal's a little weak. What kind of antenna do you have there? Yeah, very good. Yeah, I probably could hear you better. I've got to get my correct antenna back up again, and I'm using a lesser antenna at the moment, so I'd probably be able to hear you better if I had a better antenna up here myself. Well, very good, Mark. Anything else for the net?
Negative, I haven't been on in a while. Once in a while, talking there.
Well, very good, Mark. Glad to have you on the net. That was whiskey 9 Zulu. Don't be a stranger. And he's in the Murfreesboro area. Who else is any place anywhere?
He's actually out towards Christiana there on the south side of Murfreesboro there, Paul. He's pretty good little step.
Oh, yeah, very good. Out towards Christiana. I got you. So he's farther south, would be southwest, right?
Yeah, pretty much south, I guess you'd say. Out to 231 there.
Yeah, I'd have to look at the map. I don't get out to Murfreesboro very often. And so I'm not familiar. I know where Murfreesboro is, but I'm just not familiar with the surrounding area very much.
Yeah, I don't know which side of the Christiana, the highway's on, but he's pretty much south of Murfreesboro.
Cool. Yeah, that's a pretty good stretch. And we also we do have some worse conditions on Simplex recently. The last couple of nets, some of the outlying areas to me are weak. Anyway, anybody else, any place, anywhere, please come down. No lollygaggers, lurkers, or sandbaggers? Couldn't even drag Scott, K1 SPD, out of there tonight. He usually only answers if I call for lollygaggers, lurkers, or sandbaggers. Nope, he must be working or sleeping. Anyway, we're going to move on then to 28.415 upper sideband. And after that, 223.415 FM simplex. But anyway, on to 10 meters unless I hear somebody complain. Well, very good. That's where we're going. We had 23 check-ins. Seems kind of average these days. But we're going to move right over. I'll see you on 28.415 K4PEW.
Visual set.
All right, this is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. I don't know how good this is. Doesn't sound too good tonight, but we'll find out. Looking for check-ins here for the Mount Juliet Simplex Net from the west. Please come down. Anybody copying me tonight? Ah, very good. It's better than I thought it was. I do hear two people in there. KM4 YRF, Mike in Southeast Nashville, and I heard Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor, both good signals. I thought it was too noisy, but it seems we're doing fine at the moment. Who else is west? Please come down. I hear somebody. Can somebody give me a relay? I can't make out what they're saying. It's very weak.
Greg.
It's who? That's Greg in Antioch?
Yes, they said you were very low to him.
Huh. I can get lower. All right, very good. That was KD4CVE. That's correct. Yeah, I can just make out very, very lightly his voice, and I should have recognized it, but it's really low. That's interesting. Anyway, who else is west? Anybody copying anything else?
Nope.
All right, south, please come now.
K3 NPR.
Ah, very good. You're easy to copy there. You should be stronger than that, I swear. I think 10 meters is not very good tonight. That was Michael, Kilo 3, Mike Papa Romeo, just a couple of miles from me here to the east. Who else? How are you copying? Were you copying Greg at all, Mike?
I was hearing him. I've got my power dialed way back, but I could crank it up.
No. I can hear you just fine, really. You sound great. I was just wondering if you were able to hear Greg, because he was very low to me.
No, actually, you both sounded good. I mean, it's just, I'm probably halfway between you two.
Yeah, I got you. Very good. Anyway, who else is south? Is there somebody else in there real low? I always feel like I'm hearing something and maybe I don't. East, please come now. KM4HQE, that's Stan in Lebanon. Low signal, but I can copy it pretty good. Who else is east? Hey, what'd you do? Just wake up there early? You were supposed to check in on 2 meters.
Well, I got called up on doing some R&D on my longboard breakage.
Oh man, don't kid me. You were working. You were playing Family Feud.
Yeah, that's right.
Very good, Earl. Good to hear from you. That was Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. He is in Noreen, just east of the Cedars of Lebanon Park. Who else is east? Anybody else east or north? Yeah, very good. Even you're a little low tonight there, Frank.
How about now?
Oh, it's better. Would you bump up the power?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I heard you just fine. But anyway, that was Frank, Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo, Kilo. You should be able to hear him well. He's only 5 or 6 miles from me. Who else is north or anywhere? Anybody copying anything I can't hear? All righty, last chance for lollygaggers, lurkers, and dependents. Anybody else out there? I can't hear you. I can hear you a little better that time, Greg. We were planning on going to FM, but I guess we could. Anybody else want to go to FM? No, we can go to FM. I think if everybody's still there, we'll just jump right over there right now. We won't have too many people checking in, but we'll give it a shot. We're going over to FM 29.415. We'll be there momentarily unless there's nobody else out there. Is anybody else out there on frequency? All righty, let's try 29.415, and we'll be going back to going over to 223.415 when we're up. It's 29.415. This is Kilo 4. Hold on. It's Kilo 4, Papa Echo Whiskey. Got any check-ins from the north? Please come down. All right, Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kilo. Who else is north? North or west, I guess I should say.
KG4ILV, Jack and Donaldson.
All right, I got Jack in there. KG4ILV. Who else? How do you sound? How do I sound to you, Jack?
You're full scale.
Okay, very good. I just want to see. I just wanted to see how it was going. Usually it seems quieter than this, but who else is north or west? Anybody northwest or south?
Did you hear Greg?
No, I don't think I did. Greg, go ahead again.
Do you copy, Greg? Yes, sir. You sound great to me. KM4, wow.
Anyway, no, I couldn't hear Greg well. I really couldn't. KD4, yeah, KD4. Give it a second. Charlie Victor Echo. That's what it is. Anyway, anybody else? Please come down.
KM4, wow.
Okay, very good. Kilo, Mike, 4, India Lima Victor, Mike in just southeast Nashville. Anybody else? Nothing else? No lollygaggers, lookers, or sandbaggers? Huh, I'm surprised we only had 5. But anyway, that's all we got. I don't even know how many we had. We had 10 or 11. No, we only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We only had 8 on 10 meters upper side band. So I guess I'm not too surprised. Very good. We'll see you over on, for those that can, over on 223-415, K4 PEW. And we're going to be closing the net here on this portion. We don't want to, we're too busy jacking our jaws on 223-415. So we'll see you guys then. K4 PEW, closing the net.